room at RocHaus. Wow, what a start to the day. My Metal Heart, Serendipity just finished up on stage, and those girls were amazing. Kevin?
Mr. Robos?
What did you think so far last night and today?
Yeah, really incredible. Like the level of talent coming through the door and getting on the stage just keeps getting better day after day. So I'm excited to see Hillbilly Rockstars next.
It's going to be great. Kevin Krak from RocHaus. You know, you started this project, what, 8 years ago?
Yes, I was thinking about that this morning. 7 or 8 years I acquired the building.
And your vision for RocHaus was what exactly? So everyone understands. And by the way, go to rockhaus.com, check out the 3D view of the whole facility. You guys are going to be blown away. But to see it in person is just amazing as well. But what was your vision when you started?
Really, two things. One, you know, I'm an event guy, so I've been to a million concerts. I love to see music the way it's meant to be, live. With artists on stage. So I'd invariably see these great bands performing in some broken down, no sound system, you know, lighters for house lights, and think, oh, these artists deserve such a better place to play with the quality of talent they have. And then secondly, I used to go to House of Blues a lot in Chicago and other parts of the country. And I always thought it would be great to have a House of Blues kind of venue in the suburbs. Small, intimate, and, you know, be careful what you wish for, because the old Clearwater Theater crossed my path, and that's now 7 or 8 years ago. So.
And Clearwater was a great facility for up-and-coming artists, kids, and things like that. But when you walked into this place, what were you thinking? Seriously, I mean...
I had come here to see Local H for the very first time. And I love the H, so huge fan of them. But I found myself in this venue that has existed since 1914. And I really sort of thought two things. Wow, what a cool space, and wow, this place needs to get cleaned and relaid out and painted and all those things. But I could definitely see the bones in the building, so I thought from that very first day that it was a really special kind of place. And as you know, you've been here so many times. It's such
beautiful.
a cool space.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and not just what you've done for the fans in the room where the stage is, but for anybody that walks in here from an artist to a fan. The green room is the best green room I have ever been in, and I've been in quite a few. Best green room I've ever been in.
Thank you.
I like this vibe and this feel better than what I see at House of Blues. And, you know, they have their thing, and it's great.
Sure.
I'm not downplaying
Yeah.
that, but people come in here and they're like, oh, the vibe here is so cool. You got a Prince room, you got a blues room, you got a makeup room, you got...
You know, we had this cool space to start with, and having been in a bunch of green rooms myself, they always seem to get overlooked compared to the rest of the venue, and I certainly understand that, but my vision of what this building could offer was really, I always thought of it as an oasis for talented, hardworking, sometimes career musicians. So if their green room wasn't like the coolest, one of the coolest spaces in the building for the artists that need some rest, they're on the road all the time, that's a really hard life, then, you know, we would have just missed the mark. So I would love to say that I was responsible for this. I was not. My lovely wife did all of the interior work here. I just followed directions, gasped when I saw how much it cost, and then went back to work. So.
And it works. Everything she did worked. As a matter of fact, if you notice from the first couple interviews to now, we decided to switch out the chairs a little bit. These are a little bit more comfortable, makes us sit up a little better. But these are really cool chairs too. Where'd you find all this stuff?
I have no idea.
Your wife just found it?
Yeah, I have no idea. I just started showing up one day, maybe a week or two before our first show, and you know, I got to work.
That's awesome. So when you were working on the place, did you find any really cool things, or what are some of the little history things that maybe people don't know?
So a little history of the venue. The venue was built in 1914. It was the second building on this block. The 3-story restaurant building to the west of us was built in the late 1880s. And it opened as a vaudeville stage back when vaudeville was a thing. Now, I'm old enough to realize that now not everybody knows what vaudeville is,
Right.
but I embarrassed myself 2 or 3 times so far saying like, vaudeville. Yeah, they didn't know. But it's pre-motion pictures where actors would perform on stage, and sometimes there was a musical accompaniment with a piano or something. During their vaudeville careers, it's rumored that Charlie Chaplin, Bob Hope, and the original Three Stooges all performed in the building on literally the same exact wood on our stage. So when we started renovation, there was about half of that stage that I could track was original, so we kept it, restored it, and then did our best to match the rest. After vaudeville died, the Clearwater or the Dundee Theater turned into a movie theater, and it was a movie theater for 70 or 80 years. During the renovation, we didn't find the old seats, but we found where the seats had sat into the wall. We could see like how they stepped up like a movie theater. That was really cool. And then up in this space, all of the woodwork, the doors, the casings, the base, and the door hardware, as best I can tell, is all from 1914 era.
Wow.
So we did our best to reutilize and repurpose all that and put it back in working order. If anything, this building has been here for 116 years now.
Right.
I see myself as its caretaker, so it's important to me that the history that's here and the things that dated back to then really just, we gave tribute to by doing everything we could to save it.
That's awesome. So you've been watching us all along. I know because you and I are acquaintances quite well. We know each other quite well. So you've seen some of the interviews that we did all along in pressing Huntley Fall Fest all year. And up until a few weeks ago, we were 100% going for it. And Bryant, who runs Huntley Fall Fest, calls me up and he's like, man, where can we go? Do you know Kevin? Well, actually he said, do you know the guy that owns RocHaus? Because he didn't know you at the time. And I said, yeah, sure. I'll introduce you. And he hit you up. What was your first thought when you're like, Huntley Fall Fest wants to do what, where, when?
Yeah, I didn't quite understand it because I associate the Huntley Fall Fest with the outdoor event, and I didn't know that it had been canceled yet. So, I didn't know. But then once Brian explained it a little bit, it was an automatic yes, of course. Why wouldn't we do that?
That's awesome. And partnering with you has been so great. Every band, and it's only been a few so far, but every band has said the same thing. What a great space. What a great green room. What a great atmosphere. And the team that you have here, from production to your bar staff to everybody, is just amazing. So
we're definitely all music lovers, and we're service lovers, and certainly music to a certain extent is a service. So it's important to us that anybody that comes through our doors, patrons, artists, photographers, your team, feel like, wow, that's a great place. And if we have to go other places, we want it to be like RocHaus, and we want to definitely be back at RocHaus. I will say this, though, related to the fest. Sometime yesterday, the light bulb went off, and it dawned on me, oh, shoot, this is a festival. The next 3 days are going to be really long. I didn't put 2 and 2 together, until sometime yesterday morning. So that was the third thought I had, like, oh, wow, be careful what you sign up for next time. There is a lot of work that goes into this, as you know, and, the amount of people that are just involved putting this on behind the scenes, it's almost a 24-hour gig just to get through the next 3 days. So remind me of that next year when you say something like, hey, can you guys do that?
Yeah, you want to do it again?
I'll still say yes. But
So you've watched it online for a few,
I have,
for a few shows. What do you think of that?
The
look, the feel.
Yeah, it's.
Are we doing you proud? That's what I want to ask.
Of course, we have awesome live artists on our stage. Anything beyond that is bonus, because that's what this building is here for.
Awesome.
But the production quality is amazing. The video is crystal clear. The sound is amazing. The team from Soundworks here is just unbelievable. So talented, so diligent. I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, that's great.
Really
That's
cool.
great. Kevin, thank you for being here with us. We appreciate
Yeah,
your time.
thank you.
We appreciate you partnering with us and our sponsor, First National Bank of Omaha. They do a great job out at Huntley Fall Fest. And Sean, again, we're missing you, and I know I've said it every interview, but hopefully you're going to catch one of these. We miss you, man. We hope everything's good, and we'll see you soon. But Kevin, thank you for being here. Thank you for opening your doors to us, and let's
Anytime.
rock out this
Absolutely.
night.
Thanks for watching.
Real quick, we're going to break the live feed for just a few minutes. Facebook has a time limit, as you know, from our live fest that we had back in May, where we were in the middle of a show and all of a sudden Facebook decided to cancel us out and just reboot us. So we're going to do that right now. Please come back and give us 5 minutes, 6 minutes or so, and we will have our live feed back. And when we come back, Courtney is going to be in this chair for an interview, Courtney from Hillbilly Rockstars, because they're going to be on the stage next. Kevin, thank you again.
Thank you.
See you guys. Matt, back to you.